Hello, my dear gardeners. I am back into the garden. As you can see, a lot of work has to be done. But I just landed in the United States last week and we went to see our daughter who is studying abroad in Austria, and also I hopped over the border to see my dear mom. So let me get you updated on all the stuff going on in the Carmody's household. So I took 5 weeks off from YouTubing and it was really good for me. It kind of resets me. I like to travel, especially abroad, to see how other people live. It helps me to evaluate my life and look at everything from a different perspective, right? So our older kids, they go to Franciscan University in Ohio, the best place for young people to be. And Franciscan University has the opportunity for students to go abroad for 1 semester, and they do have this wonderful place in Carmody in Austria. And our daughter decided to go this semester there. So they had 10-day family visit. We were invited, and me and my husband went there for 10 days. Actually, we went a little bit longer. We landed in Vienna several days earlier before all the parents landed, and we had several days to ourselves. And you know what I realized? That this was actually the first international trip we made with my husband, just us two, because we would always travel with kids. So it was like a mini little honeymoon together just for 3 days before all the parents arrived. Okay, I fell in love with Vienna, generally with the Austrian way of living. My daughter considers it a second home. She loves Garming, that's where the university campus is. And by the way, the campus is gorgeous. I'm so appreciative that the university decides to put all the details as they should be, right? Not a quick fix-up, but really design a way to approach things. It's an old building and all the details are fitting into that old building aura. So beautiful. The weather was very good. We were very lucky, not much rain. And what I did, I fell in love with all the architecture in Austria. Anywhere you look, there is beautiful plasterwork on the walls. You can feel the Austro-Hungarian Empire. And my granny, my grandmother, who was born in Western Ukraine, it was part of Austrian-Hungarian Empire. So I can see the details in the Western Ukraine, the way the houses are made. I can see that Austro-Hungarian presence still there in little details. So plasterwork, gorgeous thing. And I'm thinking, in case we move into a new home, we are contemplating moving, I would love to make my own plasterwork on the interior of the house. Of course, not as elaborate as this plasterwork, right? But something nice on the interior walls. And that extra touch brings so much charm for the interior of the house. Also, I fell in love with this mustard color on the exterior of the walls of houses. Look at this color, gorgeous. And I do like white trim around the windows. I don't like dark trim. I like it to be nice and bright and cheery. So white trim with this color, with this mustard color, looks so good. Fell in love with that color. Also, everywhere you go, there are beautiful little nooks and crannies, and the old stone work and cement. It is not perfect at all. It doesn't have to be to look so beautiful. So I realized I have a lot of potentials working with the stone on the future property if we move, but I'm already brewing thinking about all the interesting ideas I can do. The stonework doesn't have to be perfect because I'm not a professional stone worker, masonry person, but it still can look very good, especially if I will try to age it, introduce likings and moss. So that's another great idea I got from my traveling through the Austrian countryside. I like how Europeans decorate their windows, especially shop windows. And it's a pity we were there a little bit earlier, not the Christmas season yet. But what I also was looking for, I was looking for beautiful window decorations, the way they do it. Very good, very European way. And also the street signs. I fell in love with them too. We have this, me and my husband, we entertained this idea to have a tea shop in our future home. Well, I don't know if that will happen, but I would love to have some very ornate sign which will say tea shop, or I don't know the name of it. It would be so great. So wherever I was going on the streets in Vienna, every store had its nice, unique looking beautiful ironwork, and each sign was different. The store sign, each sign was so different and unique. I was just taking pictures everywhere. I love that approach to decoration, very tasteful. Not many mass-produced details, but of course, it's old Austro-Hungarian Empire. So much money was there present, and you can feel it now. I paid special attention to roses. Of course, on the streets I was looking for roses. And yes, fall is not the season to have beautiful blooms. Of course, several roses were blooming here and there, but I read about it in books. But now I saw it myself, how roses were growing out of nowhere. You look at the street, the stones are everywhere, and here comes this rose, growing on literally several inches of soil. Of course, there is more soil underneath. But here in the United States, we make sure that our roses have plenty of space and good soil and food and rain. There, these roses were flourishing in the middle of a cobblestone street. So, I looked at it and I said, roses are tough plants. They can survive and flourish. But of course, Austrian weather, very green, it rains a lot, it's mountainous, a lot of wood. Austrians do heat their houses and they love that warmth inside during the dreary winter days. There are a lot of trees around. And the fact that you go inside and right away it's nice and warm, I loved it. It reminded me of the home, Ukraine, Western Ukraine. People do love warmth in their houses. Of course now, because of the war, electricity and gas is getting expensive. There are shortages, so I hopped over the border and I visited my mom after 10 days of staying with our daughter. It was lovely to see our daughter, and we met a lot of great people on this trip, made a lot of good friends, and the star person, my favorite one, was Father Matt, and here he is. He found out that I have a YouTube channel and he gave me the best promotion. Here he is.
Well, I'd just like to promote Olga Carmody's YouTube channel. I mean,
that doesn't work,
Father.
Father.
Garden YouTube channel I've ever watched in my life.
Father Matt, if you see this video, big hello from the United States, from the Carmody family. All right, so our 10-day visit to Austria was over. My husband came back home because our youngest son was keeping the house going. He was all alone. He is a mature 16-year-old. He did fine, threw all the garbage, watered all my plants, although the garden is, it needs work. So I will be busy for next several weeks. Hopefully the weather will cooperate. I will be cleaning up everything, trimming old stuff. So yeah, a lot of work needs to be done. But I visited my mom for several weeks, for 3 weeks, and it was so good to be back with my mother. My father passed away a year ago, so my mom lives all alone, and she is slowing down, so I decided to love her in that slow pace, and it was very good for me too. For 3 weeks I was taking it easy, and life in the Ukrainian countryside is so different from life here in the US. I would get up early in the morning and the stove needs to be started, so I would go outside to pick up wood. Wood is already pre-cut. I would go inside, start the stove, start the coffee maker, will heat the house, feed the dog. There is a cat on the property. So it's a different way of living. And to do that for several weeks, totally get disconnected from social media, from gadgets, from YouTubing, from making videos for you guys, although I love to do that. But it was a good change for me, and it was so good to be with Mom. Oh, I loved it. It was hard to come back, but I was missing my husband and my son. And now I just landed in the United States before Thanksgiving. We had lovely holidays with the family. All the kids are coming home for Christmas, and out of nowhere, Christmas season is almost here, you know. We went abroad, it was in October. And now suddenly Christmas is almost here. So this fall for me was very quick, and you can see the garden is really not taken care after, but I will catch up. One more thing I want to share with you. The bakeries and the bread, the food in Austria, oh my gosh. I came home, I do bake my own bread, but I came home with a new, renewed commitment for my family to eat only homemade bread. Because there would be only 4 ingredients in that bread: yeast or the sourdough starter, flour, water. Why 4? Flour, water, yeast. Yeah, 3 ingredients instead of 40 ingredients in the usual supermarket bread. And another thing, the bakeries, the patisseries, cookies and cakes, but the way they were organized on the counter, the way you go in and you right away you have to buy something because everything looks so good. My husband has a sweet tooth, so he was really trying different things, and everything was just right about it. And now I'm happy to be home, to see you all guys. Hopefully you will be back watching the progress of my garden through the winter, and spring is just not far around the corner. You know, this fall was really short for me. All right, my dear gardeners, thank you for watching, and I will see you in our next video. Happy gardening!